and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G. John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Thursday only here on YouTube. I want to welcome you to the February 29th, 2024 Vinyl Treasure Show. It's a leap year. It's the last day of February. Geez, already getting into the end of the quarter, too. We got a month to the end of the quarter, but welcome to the afternoon show. We're here from 1 p.m. Eastern Time till about 3:30, and I am continuing with the countdown of the 1957 Relic survey as voted by collectors. A lot of the collectors that voted on that survey are in the chat room or tuned into the program, and they're either not, a lot of them not signed into YouTube, so they can't participate in the chat, but they are tuned in either live or on the archive. So welcome to this afternoon show. A very nice day today, a little windy, but it's cold. It got cold last night all of a sudden. When I was doing the Soul show, it dropped from 55 to like 42 in a matter of a couple of hours, and it was cold last night. But anyway, sit back for the next few hours. I have to sit back. I showed you that boot back there. I cannot wear that boot. It is too cumbersome and it's too difficult to walk. So so some of you that are tuning in here to the program, maybe you didn't hear, I did a whole thing last night about what happened to me. So everybody knows I fell, but I went to the ortho guy, and he says, you can't walk on that leg. You're irritating that strained muscle and torn. I tore the muscle somewhere because it was bleeding into the bottom of my foot. So it stopped, but I have to go for therapy on the ankle, and they thought possibly my Achilles tendon. It wasn't detached. It was intact, which was a good thing. And I have good mobility, but I need a little bit of help, and I need to stay off the leg. So I cannot, when I sit like this, I can't have the leg down. I have to have the leg up. It's still swollen, and since the calf and the bottom of the leg is swollen, it's hard for the fluid to get out of there, so I have to keep it elevated. And then when I do walk, I have to walk like a ballerina on my tippy toes. I cannot do that. This boot, look at this boot. This boot in here with a high seam, it has me up there, but my right leg is on the ground. So I need a shoe lift. I says, I can't walk with that, and I can't do the 3-hour walking because that's how I screwed it up. So I got something to keep my foot up, and I mentioned yesterday on the show that I'm going to have to because of this injury and because I have to sit less, I have to shorten the Saturday night show more because we're usually out of here by 3:30. So 2.5 hours is good, but the Saturday show I have to shorten it. So I'll still take your requests, but I'm going to limit it to 2 requests. So all you guys and gals that send me your requests at vinyltreasures@aol.com, continue to do that. You'll hear it either in the current week or in the following week, but it's hard for me to sit here for 4 hours to do it, and I'm sure, sometimes it's too late for the people on the East Coast. It's good for the people on the West Coast and in the middle of the state and for people in Europe, but it's not good, well, maybe not for the people in Europe, but it's not good to sit here for all those hours. I just can't because my leg hurts. It hurts, and it's going to take me 8 weeks to get back to shape. And the hard part is, getting the records and pulling the records out of the boxes, getting up and down and doing it. The 60 show is more difficult because all those records are down in the no humidity basement. At least I brought a lot of the 50 stuff up, and a lot of it is, not a lot of it, but the unclean stuff is up here, and I got some downstairs in my room, but I have, the other records are scattered in my record room, and they're up on, they're big boxes with about 245s and then records I have to put back. So I actually need somebody here. I messed up last night. I went looking for the record. I hurt my leg doing it. But anyway, I know you'll understand. So already people have submitted from listening from last night, and they already submitted their 2 requests, but you can give me more. If you give me 4 or whatever for the next couple weeks or whatever, then I'll play them. So that's how it's going to work, folks, until Johnny G gets back up. But anyway, let's continue here. So we just opened up with a great instrumental by Earl Bostic. Earl Bostic and his orchestra on Sid Nathan's King record label, a song he wrote called Answer Me. That was in September of 1957. I know Dennis Fluharty, he likes the sound of Earl Bostic, and so do I. That's why I've been featuring it. So there you go, September 57, Earl Bostic and his orchestra on King Records' Answer Me. Let's start it off here with the vocal portion. We open up, or actually we closed last week with number 226 by the Dell Vikings on the Mercury label. It was called Come Along With Me. That was their ninth release. No, that was their ninth record to make the survey. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? But they got more coming into the survey, believe it or not. But let's pick it up at number 225 with 40 points and 5 mentions. This group from Evanston, Illinois, they would have 5 releases on Paul King and Lee Caldwell's Drexel Records out of Chicago. This was their 5th and final for Drexel. It features Ray Pettis on lead, great lead singer Ray Pettis, from May 57 at number 225. Let's give a listen to the Gems on the Drexel label. It's called Till the Day I Die. The Gems.
Oh yes, I wanna love you, baby, till the day I die. Oh yes, if you leave me, darling, like a child I'd cry, cry. Don't hurt me, baby, please never be me. You're the finest thing that I have ever seen. I wanna love you, baby, till the day I die. Oh yes, always love me, darling, never let me go. Don't let me go. Oh yes, if you want something, baby, just let me know. Please let me know. Well, baby, you're so fine, like orange wine. You mellow with time. I wanna love you, baby, till the day I die. Oh yeah. Well, baby, you're so fine, like orange wine. You mellow with time. I wanna love you, baby, till the day I die. I just wanna love you till the day I
That's the great sound of the Gems. They made it on the survey. That is a good thing. But that's their final release, though, unfortunately. Their last release on the Drexel label, the great Ray Pettis on lead, May 1957, the Gems, with Till the Day I Die at number 225. And this next group, they're from the Bronx, New York. They come in at number 224 on the survey with 2 mentions, and one of those 2 mentions was a number 1 selection. I don't know who it is, but it's on Andy Leonetti's Safari record label. It features 12-year-old Ralph Molina on lead. Here are the Personalities with Tico Wilshire and the orchestra from September 1957. The Personalities on Safari. It's called Yours to Command.
Yeah.
September 1957 release there at number 224. They're called The Personalities. The Personalities on Safari Records. Yours to Command is the name of the tune. I think that's the intended B-side of the 45, and this record will return very soon. B number 1002, the flip side number 100. A1002. That features 12-year-old Ralph Molina on lead, and it was collector Christopher Ellis. I was talking to him not too long ago. He told me that the lead singer, Ralph Molina, would become the drummer for Neil Young's band, Crazy Horse. And that band included members of another vocal group, interestingly enough, Danny and the Memories, that recorded for the Valiant record label in 1964. And Frank Chingaro brings up that this 45 comes two ways, with and without a time, and this one does not list the time. I wonder, I have another copy of this too, not in this clean shape here. Greg sold me this copy a long time ago when Louis Silvani had the store in Dobbs Ferry. He walked in one day with three 45s. That was one of the 45s. I knew I needed an upgrade of it, but anyway, let's continue here. And here is a flip side. We heard last week at number 273 by this group from Newark, New Jersey. They're called the Sentimentals. It was the B-side of their second release on Chris Ford's Mint label. We heard Wedding Bells. Now the A-side clocks in at number 223 with 42 points and 4 mentions. It features Sylvester Jackson on lead, and I think he has an unmistakable voice like some of the others that I've mentioned here on the program. 1957, the Sentimentals on the Minute record label, coming in at number 223. Their rendition of the tune, A Sunday Kind of Love.
I want a Sunday kind of love, a love to last till Saturday night. I wanna know it's more than love at first sight. I want a Sunday kind of love, Sunday kind of square. Can't seem to find somebody to care. I wanna know it's romance lead me nowhere. I want a Sunday kind of love. Well, you're my Sunday dreaming and all my Sunday scheming. Every minute, every hour, every day. Well, I'm hoping to discover a certain kind of lover. I need someone to and for to keep me warm when money's so cold. I wanna know it's love to have it to hold. I want a Sunday kind of love. Well, you're my Sunday dreaming and all my Sunday scheming. Every minute, every hour, every day. Well, I'm hoping to discover a certain kind of lover. I need someone to and for to keep me warm when money's so cold. I wanna know it's love to have and to hold. I want a Sunday kind of love. I want a Sunday kind of love.
Cool tunes for a Thursday afternoon here on the Vinyl Treasure, show number 223 there. Those are the Sentimentals. Sentimentals on the Mint record label from 1957, A Sunday Kind of Love, featuring Sylvester Jackson on lead. Now, this 45 would be re-released in April of 1961, but with the wavy lines versus the straight lines. So if you went into Times Square Records and purchased this 45, I would bet, well, you probably could have gotten some originals there too, but you also could have gotten it with the wavy lines there on that Mint 45. Oh, well, it's not Mint, but it's the Mint record label. I found that in the wild too, believe it or not, for a quarter. Always fun to find records like that out in the wild as we continue here. And let's go to this group from High Point, North Carolina. They placed, this is their third song to make the Relic survey. This at number 222 with 42 points and 6 mentions. They had 6 releases in all on Bess Berman's Apollo Records out of New York City. Now, both sides of their 5th release made it on the survey, number 444 with For You and You Alone, and the flip side came in at number 260, Please Be Mine. This is their 6th and final release that comes in at number 222. It features Melvin Stone on lead. He is the second tenor of the group, and this song and this song should not have been included on the 1957 survey, as this was released in early 1958. I have February 58, so this one really should have crossed over into the 58 survey, but it's on it. And, you know, at the time, there wasn't really the internet to double-check on a lot of these things. And if you didn't have time to check out other releases around the area and whatnot to be exact, it's, you know, this kind of mistake is okay. It's very close, so I would give it a pass. But anyway, February 58 release. Let's give a listen to the Casanovas. The Casanovas on Apollo. It's called You Are My Queen at number 222.
You are my queen, my one and only queen. You are my fairest queen. You are my dearest dream. You're the cutest thing I've ever seen. I wanna hold you, squeeze you tight. My one. I wanna walk with you. Please. squeeze you tight. Open your arms and let me feel your loving charms. Open your heart and say, please let me hold your hand. Please let me take command. Darling, will you ever understand? So I can holler, squeeze you tight. Yeah, you squeeze you tight. Squeeze you tight.
That is a great tune there by the Casanovas. Came out in February of 58, but it made it here on the 1957 survey. We'll take it. The Casanovas on Apollo Records, Best Burman's Apollo Records. Melvin Stone, he's the lead singer. You Are My Queen is the name of the tune. Now, dare I say, another Dell Vikings song made it on the survey? Well, yes. This is their 10th song to make it on the survey, and the Mercury version of this tune came in at number 362, which featured William Blakely on lead. But this is the original, although the listing specifically says the dot version of the song, which reads Crip Johnson, lead singer of Whispering Bells. Of course, they lost that lawsuit against Mercury Records, so they couldn't really call them the Dell Vikings, even though the original members are singing on this tune here. In fact, the original on Phoebe Records is a bit longer because of, what is that in the beginning? Is that a Morocco or whatever that we hear in the beginning there with that shaking that thing? It's 2 minutes and 5 seconds on the Phoebe release, but the dot is only 1 minute and 46 seconds, and it received 43 points and 6 mentions, and one of those 6 was a number 1 selection, so somebody made this their number 1 selection. We go to August of 1957 at number 221. It should be the Dell Vikings, but it says Crip Johnson, lead singer of Whispering Bells. This is on Dot Records. The song is called I'm Spinning.
I can hear
August 1957 release there, really for the Dell Vikings, but it's Crip Johnson, lead singer of Whispering Bells, which sounds awful, to be honest. I'm sure the DJs didn't announce it that way. I wonder, so did they just say, those of you that were tuning in, that were listening to that record, were they just playing the Phoebe record? I don't know. Or it's just odd. I don't know what happened. But anyway, still a great tune there. Number 221 on the Dot record label. I'm Spinning is the name of the tune. Originally on Phoebe Records with a little longer version. Yes, let's continue. As well, Frank Gingaro is always spinning. Yes, I am too, by the way. As we continue here, I'm trying to keep my foot up here. I guess I'm doing an okay job at staying there, and I can reach over to the webcam there, but it's better when it's up. It doesn't hurt as much, but let's continue here. Entry number 220 with 43 points and 4 mentions, a rare 45, as we go to Brooklyn, New York on Alfred Cricht Mason Jr.'s Masons label. And the only release for this group, they're called the Thrashers. The song written by the lead singer of the group, his name is Bernard Felton, and in an interview, I think Marv Goldberg interviewed Bernard, he mentioned that both sides of the 45 were recorded, I think, in the back of a record store, the basement or whatever, but it was in 1957 they recorded it, but it wasn't released really until sometime in early 1958, and it was included again in the 1957 survey. I think Kreider has it listed as 1957. Either way, it's number 220. It's the Thrashers on Mason's Records. It's the ballad side. It's called Forever My Love, the Thrashers.
Sometimes it seems like everything goes wrong, but then again, life is just a happy song. But no matter what our fate might be, I'll always love you tenderly forever. My love. Although your heart may tell you to be well, you'll never know how much I really care. I pray that we will never part, and I'll always keep you in my heart forever. My love. Each night I dream I'm holding you in my arms. Each day I only think of your loving charm. Darling, if there's a crime against loving you like I do, then I'm guilty through and through. So my dear, please try to understand and tell me I will always be your
the sound of the Thrashers here at number 220. 220 on the Masons record label out of Brooklyn, New York. Originally recorded in 57, released in early 1958. Forever My Love is the name of the tune. I remember Spence Wooten, he brought that up to me. He goes, John, and that's that. I don't know what this record goes for now, but I think he charged me $1,000 on that 45. It's not a cheap 45 if you're looking for that on the original. It was pressed. Somehow Times Square Records was able to get this pressed up, I think on red vinyl if I'm not mistaken, but it's like block print, and that thing goes for some bucks too, the second press of the 45. But this sounds better than the Lovelarks 45 that came out. It's a little better quality, but not as best, but what can you do? Johnny G here on a Thursday afternoon. If you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. We do this every Thursday afternoon beginning at 1 p.m., 1 till 3:30, spinning these records here. We are in the midst of a 1957 Relic Survey countdown as voted by collectors back in 1997. And they sent out Relic sent out tapes. You can purchase the tapes. I think maybe of the top 50 or 100 records, I don't recall. But they would play these records on WFUV. They would announce them. A lot of the DJs that would host the program, the R&B Review, would play these records on FUV, and they would talk about, who the top voters were, etc. So it was always fun to hear it live as it came out. And I know some of you are following along, like Joe Shacatano. He's catching my mistakes. But I only made one mistake, Joe, is what I did. But anyway, we continue here, and we stay in Brooklyn, New York, for this next group. The flip side of this, we heard at entry number 524, a song called Cold Cash, which is really not my favorite by the group, but it made the survey. They also placed a second song on the survey at entry number 282, a release they did on the Fury label called While Our Hearts Are Young. That is a good side that they do. They previously recorded as The Wheels on the Premium record label, but when the owner of Premium passed away suddenly, they were left without a label. They signed with Sid Nathan's Deluxe Records, and had just one release on the label. This is the A-side that comes in at number 219. It features Rudy Anderson on lead, and this was a cover of a Dell Vikings hit. I'm sure you all know this song, but it's from February 57. Let's give a listen to the Federals. The Federals at number 219 on Deluxe, and their rendition of the Dell Vikings tune, Come Go With Me, the Federals.
Yes, love me, darling. Come go with me, please don't send me way beyond the sea. I know, darling, so come go with me. Go with me. Come into my heart with me, darling. We will never part. I know, darling, so come go with me. Yes, I need you. Yes, I really need you. Please say you'll never leave me. I'll say never. Yes, you really never.
Never give me a chance.
Come to my heart, tell me, darling, we will never part. I know, darling, so come go with me.
Cover tunes here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, coming in at number 219 on the survey. Those are the Federals. The Federals with the unmistakable voice, I have to say, of Rudy Anderson on lead. February 1957. That's on Sid Nathan's Deluxe Records. Come Go With Me is the name of the tune. Let's continue here now with the survey. Entry number 218 with 43 points and 4 mentions. A very rare 45 on Zell Sanders' JNS record label out of the Bronx, New York. Now, the group had 2 releases on the JNS record label. Their second from February 67 we heard earlier on the survey at number 521, called I Love You. And this is their first, coming in at 218. Not much info on this group, though. I think there are 3 known members. Joe Rivers supposedly was a member of this group. Of course, he was half of Johnny and Joe, of course, of Over the Mountain and Across the Sea fame. Also, Melvin Lewis and Rex Garvin, who was also is the leader of the orchestra here on this. And for you collectors out there, the true originals are on small print, and the name of the group was omitted. So on some of the copies, they used an ink stamper to stamp in the name of the group. Now, on my copy, I do not have that. I won this in a John Tefteller auction. It was a long time ago that he had an auction with this record on, and it's okay. I think this side is not as off-center, but there was a copy in the collection that I looked at. I saw it in there, but it's no longer there. I know somebody that got that record. But the group is known as the Climbers. The Climbers. This is from January 57, coming in at number 218 on the survey, 43 points and 4 mentions. The Climbers on JNS. It's called My Darling Dear.
Oh, do, do, do. Oh, do, do, do.
Rare 45s here on a Thursday afternoon. That one there coming in at number 218. Doesn't play that bad, really, I have to say. And a decent copy, January 57, number 218. Those are the Climbers. The Climbers, that's their debut single there on Zell Sanders' J&S Records out of the Bronx, New York, My Darling Dear. And you can get that on J&S with the big print. So if you bought that 45 in Times Square Records, you probably have it on the big print. As you may have this next record, also you may have purchased back in Times Square Records. It's number 217, and another flip side we heard earlier on the survey on Ben Smith's Extra record label. We heard the B-side of the group's only release at number 444, the song called One More Chance, which is a killer ballad. And this is the intended A-side, which is an excellent jump. This integrated group formed as students back in 1956 at attending Washington High School in Manhattan, and it features Fred Brunner on lead. Let's go to early 1957, coming in at number 217 on the survey. The group is called The Unknowns. The Unknowns on Extra Records, and the tune is called You and Me.
Dobby, dobby, oh, oh,
I like both sides of that record. I think it's a great tune, The Unknowns. Early 1957, coming in at number 217 on the survey, Ben Smith's Extra Records. I wonder if he was a saxophone player. You know, he had his own band earlier, I think maybe in the 1940s or late 40s or whatever, but he might have been playing saxophone on there, unless it was Big Al Sears, possibly. But those are The Unknowns. You and Me is the name of the tune. Again, Fred Brunner, he's the lead singer on that. Now, if you purchase this 45 in Times Square Records, I would bet that would be around 1962. You probably have it on the Shield label, which is much. I have it on the Shield label because that's how I first got it. I bought it from Gary Wood. He charged me $6 for the Shield single. Now, when Greg Surik offered me this one a long time ago, again, it was top on my want list at one time. He charged me $900 for that record, as it's not really an easy record to find on the Extra record label. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We go to entry number 216 with, whoa, see, I messed up here, folks. Joe Shacatano, aren't you checking on me? Aren't you checking on me here? As I didn't even look. I just took it for granted that was the next record. But no, it is not. as we heard from this group. See, I had it on my sheet, but I didn't. You see, when Johnny G has his leg up, I lose my mind. There you go. So, okay, I fixed it now. As we go to entry number 216 now, it's a flip side of a 45 we heard earlier in the show at number 224 by the Personalities. We heard the ballad side called Yours to Command. Now, this is the intended A side of the 45, number 216 with 44 points and 5 mentions. Again, it features 12-year-old Ralph Molina on lead. We go back to Andy Leonetti's Safari record label, September 1957. Here are the Personalities. They return at number 216 on Safari. This is the A side. It's called Whoa, Whoa, Baby.
Hey, fiddly dee bop diddy 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 wop doo wop 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 diddy wop doo wop.
Whoa, whoa, baby, yes, you driving me crazy. Well, I don't mean maybe. I'm in the mood for love. Whoa, whoa, baby, yes, you driving me crazy. Well, I don't mean maybe. I'm in the mood for love.
When I saw you, dear, I kept the stars above. Now I got you, I'm holding you near. I'm in the mood for love.
Whoa, whoa, baby, yes, you driving me crazy. Well, I don't mean maybe. I'm in the mood for love. Whoa, whoa, baby, yes, you driving me crazy. Well, I don't mean maybe. I'm in the mood for love.
When I saw you, dear, I count the stars above. Now I got you, I'm holding you near. I'm in the mood for love.
Whoa, whoa, baby, yes, you driving me crazy. Well, I don't mean maybe. I'm in the mood for love. Whoa, whoa, baby, yes. Whoa, whoa, baby, yes. Whoa, whoa, baby, yes.
There you go, the Personalities coming in at number 216 from September 1957 on the Safari record label. Whoa, whoa, baby, that is the intended A-side there. Again, Kitty Leeds here, 12-year-old Ralph Molina on lead. Of course, I have a solo effort by Ralph Molina on the Cleftone label. I think 1958. There's no group, though. But when I saw that, I said, I know him. He's the lead singer of the Personalities. Johnny G here on a Thursday. If you like what I'm doing, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to the program, tell your friends about it. We do this every Thursday afternoon for a lot of the UK listeners or those of you in Europe that can tune into the program. You can't sign into the chat room unless you sign into YouTube. Unfortunately, that's the way it goes. So I know a lot of people are tuned in to the stream on YouTube, and thank you all for being here. We're doing the countdown here of the Relic survey, here number 215, as we stay in the Bronx, New York, with entry number 215 with 44 points and 5 mentions. This is the group's debut single. We heard their second release at number 464 with the song called Love You Till the Day I Die, but this was their first release. It came out on the RCA subsidiary Vic label, written by singer-songwriter Shirley Ellis. She was known as Shirley Elliston at the time, and of course she wrote a number of songs that were recorded by different vocal groups during her career. Now, of course, she had a big hit with the song called The Name Game, but she was writing lots of cool records or lots of cool songs back in the late 1950s. Now, this group is called the Heartbreakers, not the RCA Heartbreakers, of course, but it features a young, I think 13-year-old at the time when he sang this, Paul Himmelstein. Paul Himmelstein on lead. We go to February 57, number 215 on the survey. Paul Himmelstein and the Heartbreakers on Vic. The song is called 1-2, I Love You, the Heartbreakers.
I'll give you 10 to say you'll be mine again. 1, 2, I love you, you know I do. I really do. 3, 4, don't close the door to your heart. To your heart. 5, 6, I'm gonna fix the whole now romance. 7, 8, let's get straight. Give me a chance. 9, please be kind. Can't get you out of my mind. 10, I won't say 10. I'll have to start all over again. 1, 2, I love you, you know I do. I really do. 3, 4, don't close the door to your heart. To your heart, to your heart. 5, 6, I'm gonna fix the whole now romance. 7, 8, let's get straight. Give me a chance. 9, please be kind. I can't get you out of my mind. 10, I won't say 10. I'll have to start all over again. 1, 2, I love you, you know I do. I really do. 3, 4, don't close the door to your heart. To your heart, to your heart. 5, 6, I'm gonna fix the whole now romance. 7, 8, let's get straight. Give me a chance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I won't say 10. I won't say 10. I'll start over again.
That's the great sound of Paul Himmelstein and the Heartbreakers, number 215 on the survey from February 57 on Vic Records. Vic, on one of the thousands of labels that your host Johnny G collects. You know, there's a lot of pop records on Vic too, by the way. That's 1-2, I Love You. I think Alan Freed played that record on the radio if you were listening back in 1957. Let's continue here on the survey as this next group, as I lost my place. They hail from Jamaica, Queens, New York. They make their third appearance here on the 1957 Relic survey at number 214 with 45 points and 5 mentions. Although I wouldn't say they're best known for their up-tempos, but they did them well, I have to say. They did them well. Now, you previously heard them at number 401 with a release from May of 57 called I Want to Know. That was on the Rama record label. Also at number 230 on George Goldner's G label. subsidiary of Rama Records, from September 57 with When I Found You. Now, this was their second release on the Rama label, written by the lead singer. His name is James Shepard, from February of 57 at number 214. Let's give a listen to the Heartbeats. The Heartbeats on the Rama label. It's the up-tempo side. It's called Wedding Bells.
Bad boom boom boom. Hear those wedding bells. Hear those wedding bells. Those wedding bells ringing in my heart. Ring out the story how we first had our start. When we first met, I never will forget. Those words you whispered, I still remember yet. Said you'll always love me until the day I die. There never will be no secret that you would try to hide. And when you told the preacher those magic words I do, and then you grasped my hand and said that I love you. Those wedding bells fill my heart with joy, and I hope that he above will bless our little boy. Bad boom boom. Those wedding bells ringing in my heart. Ring out the story how we first had our start. When we first met, I never will forget. Those words you whispered, I still remember yet. Said you'll always love me until the day I die. There never will be no secrets that you would try to hide. And when you told the preacher those magic words I do, and then you grasped my hand and said that I love you. Those wedding bells fill my heart with joy, and I hope that he above will bless our little boy.
That's number 214 on the survey. That's on George Gollner's Rama Records. I wonder if that was Jimmy Wright on orchestra, so he doesn't get mentioned on at this time here. So I don't know, because it's easily to with the earlier 50s stuff, it's very easy to identify the saxophone of Jimmy Wright. But that's February 57. Those are the Heartbeats. James Shepard on lead with the Heartbeats. Their jump tune there called Wedding Bells, coming in at number 214. Let's go to entry number 213, which scored 45 points and 5 mentions, and the debut single for this group from Harlem, New York. Now, this one is a bad mistake, as this record should have been included in the 1958 survey. This record was released in June of 1958, so I don't know where they got their information from, but it is definitely a big mistake. This is the intended B-side of their debut single. Came out on the Central label out of New York City. The group included Ernest Mickey Goody, he was the tenor, Earl Marcus was a tenor, John Marcus the baritone, Robert Jeffers, a.k.a. Bobby J. He was the bass of the group, and the lead singer on this is Sylvester Sonny Jackson. He's on lead, and it's a tune written by the label owner. His name is Malcolm Newkirk. Now, this record, as I mentioned, was way off. It should have been included in the 1958 survey. Came out in June of 58, not in 1957. And for you collectors out there, Evan, you mentioned it, this is not on the black label. It is on the yellow label. That is the first way, which I showed it to you. Then I think immediately it came out on the pink label. So they both are originals. This is just a better copy. This is out of a Brian. This is Norm's copy that I ended up purchasing from you. Let's go to June of 58. A mistake, but we'll include it. These are the Laddins on the Central record label at 213. The song is called Did It.
Boom, 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 did it. Oh, my darling, I love you so, so, oh, so much. I really need you. I thrill to your touch when you kiss me. Chills run up my spine, oh, my darling. You are my Valentine. Oh, I love you. I really love you so. I really need you. I'll never let you go when you kiss me. Chills run up my spine, oh my darling. I love you, oh my darling.
My darling, I need you. Baby, more than flower needs rain. For without you, sweetheart, my heart is in so much pain. For I'm in love and yours to play.
My baby, I love you so, oh, so much. I really need you. I thrill to your touch when you kiss me, baby. Chills run up my spine, oh, my darling. I love you, oh, my darling.
There you go, number 213 on the survey. Those are the Laddins. The Laddins, that's their debut single. Actually, that's the B-side to their debut single. And it features, Sylvester Sonny Jackson on lead. June 1958 release. Shouldn't have been on the 57 Sir Ballot, but it is the Laddins on Central with Did It. And I think that record, when you bought that in Times Square, that was on the Times Square label, I think. I think I have a copy on blue vinyl, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if a Relic put it out also, but I know Times Square Records put that out. You could have, when you went to buy that record in Times Square, you got it on the blue label. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Billy Ward and the Dominoes return to the survey. We previously heard 4 of their releases on the Decca record label, that number 520, their version of September Song, number 431, To Each His Own, number 389, they did When the Saints Go Marching In, and at number 256, their version of I Don't Stand a Ghost of a Chance, all on the Decca label. They come in at number 212 with 45 points and 5 mentions on the Liberty record label. They had 6 releases on the Liberty label. This was their second release, a song recorded by so many through the decades. So many people and groups recorded this song through the decades. A song that dates back to 1934 is done by Paul Whiteman and his orchestra, but this version features a great lead singer. His name is Eugene Mumford. This is Billy Ward and his Dominoes from August of 1957, coming in at number 212 on the Liberty label, their rendition of the tune, Deep Purple.
When the deep purple falls over sleepy garden walls, and the stars begin to flicker in the sky.
August 1957 release there at number 212 on the survey. Billy Ward and his Dominoes on the Liberty record label, and great lead singer there, Eugene Mumford on lead, their rendition of the tune Deep Purple. Yes, Gordy, my mother likes that tune. She's going to talk about it when I go down to lunch. I'm sure she will, but I don't care even if it sounds a little popish. You can't beat Gene Mumford and the Dominoes, no matter what. A great voice to listen to, and he's a favorite here on the program. I know many of you in the chat room and that tune into the program like the sound of Gene Mumford. Johnny G here on a Thursday. Hope you're digging on the 1957 countdown. You can send me requests for the Wednesday night soul show or the Saturday night show at vinyltreasures@aol.com. That is how you communicate with your host. We're going to be taking 2 requests, not on the soul show. You can send me as many as you want, because I don't really get a lot of requests on that show. But I potentially have gotten as much as 45 requests, 45 people that have sent in requests for the Saturday night show. And I did cut it down at one point to 2, but then some of the UK people, they dropped out. And so I was putting some of my, I'll do a great show too. I'll pull out some records probably you've never heard before. That might be a good thing. Then we're going to do a 78 show. I might do it on this. I might do it on the a Thursday afternoon, because there'll be a lot of the earlier sides, and other ones are more common, but try to get things that are much earlier to play here on the program. But so send me your requests at vinyltreasures@aol.com. You can send me more, because I'll pick 2. Sometimes I don't have them all. Sometimes I get some really exotic requests of records, but we play the music chronologically, so we're going to do that. We'll still do it, but it'll be within the 3-hour time limit. So anyway, that's what all I ask, at least temporarily, until I get my knee back in shape. Because I need to exercise it too. I got to call for therapy. But let's continue here with the countdown as we go to the Bronx, New York, back to the Bronx, New York, at entry number 211 on the survey with 46 points and 2 mentions. And they previously recorded as The Bachelors on the Earl record label. I think I played their rare one last Saturday night. But they would sign with Jerry Winston's Onyx record label and change their name to the Monterey's. And this is the B-side to a song that many of you maybe heard on the radio back in the day, a song called Dearest One. That was the A-side, but the flip comes in at number 211, co-written by the lead singer of the group. His name is Ed Jordan. Ed Jordan on this. Of course, Ed Jordan would later become the lead singer of the Five Delights that recorded for the Newport/Unart record label. I'm sure you know that tune, There'll Be No Goodbye. But here he is doing lead from July of 1957. It states Dean Barlow and the Monterey's, but no, Dean is on the flip. Ed Jordan on this side on the Onyx record label. It's called Through the Years, number 211.
Oh, my darling, where have you been? I will love you until the end. Then we'll start all over again in a dreamland where love began. Say you love me like I love you. Then, my dear, I'll know it's true that your love will follow us through the years, for me and for you. You know, my darling, that your love is safe. Oh, you know, my dear, that our love will remain. Oh, yeah. Say you love me like I love you. Then, my dear, I'll know it's true that your love will follow us through the years, for me and for you.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That one there, the flip side of Dearest One. Dean Barlow and the Monterey's get credit on that, but no, the lead singer on that, his name is Ed Jordan. July 1957, number 211 on the survey on Jerry Winston's Onyx Records. Through the Years is the name of the song, as many of us have been here through the years, as it's no fun getting old. I can tell you that much. I'm sure many of you out there will agree. Well, jealous of the younger listeners we are, like Evan Blatt in our YouTube chat. But not in a good way, Evan, but I'm glad that you are here and you are a collector. I need somebody to buy my records eventually. I do. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, this next great group, originally from Manhattan, by the way, way, or New York, however you want to prove it. They return to the survey at number 210 with 46 points and 4 mentions. Now, earlier we heard two sides they did on Bobby Robinson's Whirling Disc record label, number 496. Their fourth release, called My Lovin' Baby, at number 399. Their third release, called I Really Love You, which is actually the flip side of entry number 210. And this was their third release, written by the lead singer, the great Earl Lewis. Now, this 45, for you collectors out there, came out 2 times. First, the first issue, when Bobby Robinson heard it on the radio, he said, "Oh no, that does not sound good. It is too slow for my taste. It was too slow." So they went back into the studio and they re-recorded it and re-released a faster version. So the survey didn't really mention it. I'm sure they knew about it at the time, but they really didn't mention it. But I think when I played the flip side of this, I featured both sides also. We're going to do it concurrently too here on the afternoon show. So here we go. From April 1957, coming in at number 210, Earl Lewis and the Channels on the Whirling Disc record label. This I consider the slower version. Then I'll play right after it the faster version, and you can decide which one you like better. But first up, from April 57, the slow version. It's called What Do You Do? The Channels.
We do,
when I leave you, when I leave you, when I leave you,
in none but a principle way.
when I leave you, when I leave you, when I leave you,
In none but a principle, yeah.
what do you do when I leave you? What do I wish I knew? What do you do when I leave you? What do you do if I held you tight? What do you do if I kissed you twice? Squeeze me down with all your might. You know that I love you. You know I'd always win. When you kiss me, ooh, I got a big thrill. What do you do when I leave you? What do you do when I leave you? What do you do when I leave you? Hey, go there.
You know that I love you with all my heart and soul. Just one of your kisses is worth the wait.
What do you do when I leave you? What do you do? I wish I knew. What do you do when I leave you? 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 What do you do when I leave you?
Boom, 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 boom.
What do you do when I leave you? 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 What do you do? I wish I knew. What do you do when I
That's April 1957 there, the sound of Earl Lewis and the Channels. You heard both versions of What Do You Do? I think many of you would prefer that second version there, even though the other one was fast. That second one faster, I have to admit, and probably the better sounding version. Looks like that's the consensus. That one there from April 57, number 210 on Bobby Robinson's Whirling Disc record label, What Do You Do? Let's continue here with the countdown at number 209 on the survey as we go to Philadelphia, PA for this next group. They recorded for Al Silver's Herald record label. Number 209 received 48 points and five on 5 ballots, and this is their fifth of 6 they recorded on the Herald record label as the lead singer on this, another unmistakable voice, I'll say. His name is Al Banks. Let's go to January of 1957 at number 209, the sound of the Turbins. The Turbins on the Herald record label. It's called Valley of Love. Al Banks and the Turbins at number 209.
Saw my loved one's face. Was it all just a dream or a sandman's tricking scheme? Oh no, now I know it was the Valley of Love. Oh, when will I find my sweetheart to make her mine? Will she stay far away or come back to me someday? Will I meet her again in the Valley of Love, where lovers go to dine and dance, and every girl and boy may find romance, and then someday you will meet
walking down the street.
And now I hope that I'll see that place once more, that girl for me. I can only think of my dream in the Valley of Love.
That is the unmistakable voice of Al Banks on lead there with the Turbins out of Philadelphia. That was their fifth release on Al Silver's Herald record label, January 1957 there. Number 209, Valley of Love is the name of the tune. Let's head up to Chicago, Illinois now. We go to Vivian's Carter VJ record label for entry number 208, receiving 49 points with, can't see here, 5 mentions, and one of those mentions was a number 1 selection for this tune here. This group already had 3 of their songs make the survey at number 531 from February 57, Dance, 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 number 502 with Q-Bop, She-Bop, that with that one there from July of 1957. I think the flip side of that song, A Distant Love, made it to number 471. Well, they return to number 209 from January 57. No, I'm sorry, October 57. Their seventh release for VJ Records. And this is the up-tempo side. Both sides of this 45 are excellent, I'll say. This was a number 8 record on WAAF in Chicago, Illinois. That's a great R&B station that I'd like to do a countdown one of these days. Marvin Jr., he's the lead singer. October 57, The Dells. The Dells return on VJ Records. It's called Time Makes You Change, number 2, and that is a fact, number 208.
Time marches on marches time. Ding dong, sha-la-la-la.
Well, time can make you change your mind. It make you laugh, make you cry. It make you almost die. Whoa, time. It makes the young man old. It makes the old man bold. It makes you run cold.
I've been a fool for you, baby. I broke the rules for you, baby. Well, I'm in love with you, baby. Well,
Stop right there. Come on here and let the time. It makes you change your mind. It makes you laugh, makes you cry. It makes you almost die. Makes a young man old. Makes an old man bold. Makes the blood run cold.
me and my baby were walking, standing on the corner and talking. I said, baby, baby, I got you on my mind. Yeah,
Hold it, Johnny. You know what time I spent the time. It makes you change your mind. It makes you laugh, make you cry. It makes you almost die. Yeah. La 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 la
October 1957 release there for the Dells, coming in at number 209. Marvin Jr. and the Dells. Time Makes You Change. That's their seventh release on the VJ record label. I'm sure they will return later on in the survey as we continue here. Let's go to Newport News, Virginia for this next group. They've made the survey. This is their third release to make the survey. We heard them at number 245 from December 57 with From Me to You, that of course on the Capitol label, and number 237, a song called Four Walls, featured that last week on the Capitol record label. I've neglected to mention that one person voted that song number 1, but they return again. This is their third song on the survey from August of 1957. It's their 14th release on the Capitol record label, receiving 50 points. This is the first record to receive 50 points on the survey with 4 mentions. It features the great Rudy West on lead. Let's go to August of 57, The Sound of the Five Keys on the Capitol record label. The song is called The Face of an Angel, number 207, the great Five Keys.
smiled at me, smiled so tenderly. I thought I found the key to paradise, for she had the face of an angel, and I saw heaven in her eyes. The things she used to say took my breath away. I thought my heart would stay up in the sky, for she had the face of an angel, and an angel could never tell a lie. And when she kissed me, the way she kissed me, how was I to know that someone with the face of an angel could ever hurt me so? So if you ever find there's someone on your mind, remember love is blind, so play it smart. If she has the face of an angel, be careful or she may break your heart. Be careful or she may break your heart.
That is Rudy West and the Five Keys, coming in at number 207 on the survey. From August of 1957. That's on the Capitol record label. The song is called The Face of an Angel. Probably more popish sounding there for sure. Even though they're early Capitol releases, I think they still had an R&B swing to them, but much later they became much more in the popish vein, but still a great voice there, the great lead there of Rudy West. Johnny G here on a Thursday as we continue here with the countdown. And, it's always... it's always fun when you're a young collector and you don't have a lot of money to find records, okay? Because the records that you want are all very expensive, and you really, you haven't started a job yet. You haven't finished maybe you haven't finished high school, or I was in college at the time, so I had no job. I was working for office help temporaries. I was typing for Reader's Digest in Pleasantville, New York. I was typing. I was a fast typer on the IBM Selectric, so I had to type up. I think I worked doing one time. Reader's Digest was putting out books for the blind. They were in Braille, and they were sending in subscriptions, and I had to type them up it's when they had those carbon papers where you had like 10 carbon copies behind it, so you really couldn't mess up. So I was a pretty decent typist, but I had some money, and I used to go looking for records. So lo and behold, I live up on a county road, and below, I get a decent view of the Hudson River from the house where I'm broadcasting here. So below there's this street, and they had a street sale. So, I told my mother, I said, look, I'm going to run down there and see if they have any records. This was a Saturday. So I go down there and I yell out, there's you see all this stuff out there were games, and I said, do you have any 45s for sale? And the lady says, yeah, we do. They're over here in the garage. So I go there and I see the first record I see. Of course, I got excited because it was a G record. It was Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers. I said, oh, maybe this is going to be good. I said, maybe it's going to be good. So the next record is a Dubs 45 on Gone. I said, well, listen, this has to be good. So I said, let me look at one more before I just give an offer for this box of records. So the next one was this record. when I saw this record, I kind of got nervous. I almost dropped it on the floor because I already had the bootleg of this 45 because I was buying I said there were certain records I just was never going to own because I never thought I would be, eventually a controller of a corporation at one time where I made some decent money in my work career. So anyway, I said, how much are these 45s? She says, well, give me $5 for the whole box. So I says, okay. So I gave her $5 and she said she had more in the basement. And I said, well, I'll come tomorrow. And I went, and of course I was disappointed, but not with the first grouping of stuff. And this was like the first major record in my collection that I found out in the wild, and it's always fun to do that. And it comes in at number 206 on the survey with 50 points and 5 mentions, and it really shouldn't have even been on this survey because this record came out in 1956, not 1957. And it's interesting because this group is from Greenburgh, New York, and that's like right down the street from me. So evidently, the gal who went to the local high school here in the 1950s, her father did something with music. So somehow he had this record or brought it home or whatever, because I was kind of trying to get some information. But this group first recorded for Eddie Heller's Rainbow record label as the Swans in December of 53. That is a killer record that they do on the Rainbow record label. But this was their very next release. It took them 3 years to get their next release that came out on Buddy Lucas's Steamboat label. And again, it was from 1956. The lead singer on this, his name is Ray Roberts, coming in at number 208. These are the Swans. The Swans on the Steamboat label, and the song is called Believe in Me, but it's from 1956 at number 206.
Will you believe in me when I say that I love you? Will you believe in me and say you love me too? I knew right from the start that our love was meant to be. Will you believe in me and say you love me too? If the stars of love should fail to shine, if the moon came out no more, darling, I wouldn't care as long as you're mine, for you are the one I adore. Will you believe in me when I say that I love you? Will you believe in me and say you love me
Rare 45s for a Thursday afternoon. Those are the Swans. The Swans with Ray Roberts on lead. Number 206 shouldn't make the survey. Another big mistake here on the survey. That's on Buddy Lucas's Steamboat record label, the Swans with Believe in Me. And Believe in Me, that was I was so thrilled to get that record. And I don't know what this record sells for nowadays, but it's got to be 4 figures at least. And again, I think the average came out to like 15 cents a record for the records that I found that day. And again, finding records in the wild is fun, but when you get busy and then you start working in a corporate office with the demands, and I had no time. I had no time to go to the UGHA shows and whatnot. I was always working late for these for these executives that used to beat up on me. Johnny G, I need those financials by whatever. So it was tough, although they did pay me well, I have to say. But again, I always had money to buy 45s. That was the good thing, and you're hearing them here on the program and on the shows that I do. As we continue here on the 1957 Relic Countdown, as we move to number 205, 205, again with 50 points and 5 mentions of this tune. We go to Brooklyn, New York for this group. They had 7 releases on Paul Winley's Winley record label, and their debut single was a song called Florence. But the B-side of that record comes in at number 205 on the survey. It features Julius McMichael on lead. This is their first of 7, but the B-side of their first of 7. From February 57, let's give a listen to the Paragons. The Paragons at number 205 on Winley Records. It's a B-side. It's called Hey Little Schoolgirl with Julius McMichael on lead.
Well, pretty little girl walking down the street, oh, look so fine, dress so neat. Hey, little girl, will you be mine? I wanna love you all the time. Hey, now, my little schoolgirl. Hey, now, please be mine. I see you going by every day, a tipping, yes, a tipping on your merry way. You jam the traffic on the avenue, and all the folks start to look at you. Hey, now, a little schoolgirl. Hey, now, please be mine. Believe me when I tell you I go for you, for you. There's nothing I wouldn't do. Please, little girl, will you be mine? I'll love you all the time. Hey, now, a little schoolgirl. Hey, now. Well, look so fine, dress so neat. Oh, little girl, will you be mine? I wanna love you all the time. Hey, now, my little schoolgirl. Hey, now, please be mine. Hey, now, my little schoolgirl. Hey, now, please be mine. Hey, now.
There you go, sound of the Paragons here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, coming in at number 205 from February 1957. That's the B-side to their debut single, Florence. I'm sure you're going to hear that record here on the survey. That's on Paul Winley's Winley record label, Hey Little Schoolgirl. Of course, they had other releases on other labels, Music Craft, Music Tone, and also on the Tap record label, but a different lineup for the Tap releases. But anyway, we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We move to number 204. I didn't get to rewrite these, so it's a little bit, I got 2 of the pages done, didn't get to the 3rd page here, but number 204 as we head to Los Angeles, California, and this, again, 50 points for this tune, and 5 mentions on this, and this is a flip side here. We heard the other side of this. I don't know if it was the A side, at number 462 from March of 57, called Love Can Do Almost Anything. Came out on the Bahari Brothers Modern record label. Well, the flip side makes it to number 204. They also placed another record on the survey, number 272 from March of 57 with You Belong to Me. And I'm talking about the Cadets, a.k.a. the Jacks. This is their 12th of 14 on the Modern record label, and it gives lead credit to the bass of the group, Will Jones. This song dates back to 1935, and we go to August of 1957 for number 204 for the Cadets on the Modern label and their rendition of the tune Hands Across the Table, number 204.
Hands across the table.
Hands across the table. While the lights are low, though you hush your lips, your fingertips, tell me all I want to know. So hands across the table, meet so tenderly, and they say in their little way, you belong to me.
Hands across the table, meet so tenderly,
and they say in their little way, you belong to me.
hands across the table.
Yeah, that's the bass lead of the Cadets there. Will Jones on bass there. And August 1957 coming in at number 204. That's their 12th release on the Bahari Brothers Modern record label, Hands Across the Table. The Velours do a nice release of that too, by the way, on the Onyx record label. Let's continue here on the Vinyltreasure show as we go to Harlem, New York. For entry number 203. This is another mistake. Again, lots of mistakes on here, Bill. Who was really putting together this list? And I don't know, do you want to blame the Kreider book? I don't know, but this is a mistake. This group had 5 releases on Danny Robinson's Everlast record label. This was their final release and probably the hardest of all the releases on the Everlast record label, and it came in with 50 points and 6 mentions, and as I mentioned, they're hardest to find. It features the lead singer Joe Greer on lead. This released in 1958. It shouldn't be a 1957 survey, 1958, but still a great record. These are the charts. Joe Greer and the Charts at number 203 on the Everlast record label. The song is called My Diane.
My darling, can't you see that you were
As Joe Greer and the Charts, that's their final release on Danny Robinson's Everlast record label. My Diane is the name of the tune. It did receive 50 points with 6 mentions there, but it shouldn't have been on the survey. It's a 1958 release. The Charts there with My Diane. Let's continue here on the survey as we go to 51 points now with this release, with 5 mentions as we go to George Goldner's G record label, and this is the first entry here for Frankie Lyman, and on this release it says the Teenagers. I have another press here I'll show you that just lists Frankie Lyman, and there was a little bit of a dissension in the group around this time, and I don't know if it was George Goldner that pushed Frankie Lyman to go out on a solo, and he did get credit. I guess the group was okay with that, but then he was up front though, and maybe the other members felt neglected or whatever, or maybe it was George Goldner's, but they pushed him away from the group, and I think it kind of did them in a way, but never really having the success. Although I think this record did do well for Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers. It's their follow-up to Miracle in the Rain at number 202, again, from January 1957. This is their 9th of 10, co-written by, who's Johnny Mercer? I guess the other one is Goldner gets credit for it. But let's go to number 202, Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers on this press from January 57. This was a hit. Let's hope the copyright police don't come and get your host, Johnny G. George Goldner's G record label. The song is called Goody Goody at number 202. That's Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, although they dropped the Teenagers, probably on the later presses. But there you go, coming in at number 202 on the survey with 51 points and 5 mentions from January 57. Goody Goody is the name of the tune. That is their, I think, the 9th release by them on the George Goldner's G record label. Let's move to number 201 now, again with 51 points and 7 mentions on this record. And there's so many variations of this release that came out on the Game Time record label. I think there's like 3 different variations, but I'm featuring it on the True First Press. You can go to my Facebook wall and you can look. I think I posted this one, so it should be up there. This was a record that I used to hear on oldie radio back in the early 1970s, and this features the lead here, Kitty Lead. His name is Tommy Drumgoole, or Drumgoole, I guess. He's the lead singer, and it's from September of 1957, number 201 on Game Time Records. They're called the Val Cords. The Val Cords on Game Time. It's called Candy Store Love, and we'll send it out to all the people that like Kitty Leads. The Candy Store Love, the Val Cords, number 201.
Candy Store Love.
As Gordy Freeman mentions in our YouTube chat room, a Times Square favorite. I guess that would explain why there were so many variations on the release of that 45 there. The Val Cords there, September 1957 on Game Time Records, Candy Store Love. I think that you have to have like a horizontal thick and thin line for the True First Press. Then there's, I think, just one thick line, one above and one below, and then there's the one with the wavy lines on there. So there are all different variations on that record, all issued in the early 1960s, but that is a true original. I think I paid like $50 for that 45. Anyway, Johnny G here on a Thursday. If you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the bell to get all notifications and give me a thumbs up if you are enjoying what I am doing, as we are going to leave promptly at 3:30, as I had my leg up here, but now it feels funny when I put it down here. So, but anyway, as we continue here, let's go back to Philadelphia for entry number 200. We made it to number 200 now, as this song, actually we're going to hear the A and B side of this song. I don't know which side this is, but it's the group's fifth of six for the Atco record label, and they're called the Sensations. This received 52 points with looks like 4 mentions, And this is from April of 1957. Yvonne Mills, she was the lead singer. Of course, they had a number of releases that were very good, that were kind of like local hits for them. But this is their fifth release, and I don't know if this is probably the B-side, I think. Yeah, this is the B-side. Yvonne Mills on lead, number 200. The sound of the sensations here on the countdown. It's called You Made Me Love You, number 200, with Yvonne Mills on lead. That's Yvonne Mills and the Sensations coming in at number 200 on the survey from April 1957. That's on the Atco label, the maroon Atco label. Their fifth release, fifth of six for Atco, their rendition of the tune You Made Me Love You. So we're going to flip it over, as this is the intended A-side, well, that we're going to feature right now. And let me put this on here. Let me get it right. There you go. All right, there you go. Got the groove. So let's flip the 45 over. This side did 1 point better. 53 points with 4 mentions. So, but this is the A side of their fifth release from April 57, a tune written by Luther Dixon and Luvada Harrison, again featuring Yvonne Mills on lead. This is the intended A side, coming in at number 199. It's called My Debut to Love on Atco Records, The Sensations.
I made my debut to love last night. He
of love, sweet wine, and fell in love for the very first time. He thrilled me so. He thrilled me so. I made my debut to love last night. I felt the wonder of a kiss. I was told love was so divine, but never dreamed love was like this. It thrilled him It thrilled him too. I made my debut to love last night.
That is the better side, in my opinion. Although the flip side was not bad, but that definitely is the side. If I were to vote, I don't know if I would make that my top pick of 57, but definitely a very pleasant record to listen to. I have to say, the great Yvonne Mills and the Sensations coming in at number 199 on the survey, April 1957 release on the Atco record label. My Debut to Love is the name of the tune. Let's continue here with the countdown. Boy, the Five Keys really made their mark on this survey. They return again. We heard them just, a few records ago. Again, this great group out of Newport News, Virginia, but their Capital sides were released in the year of 1957, and this is the A-side to their 16th release. From November of 1957, receiving 53 points with 4 mentions as Rudy West returns with the Five Keys, the song written by Clyde Otis and Ivory Joe Hunter. November 57, number 198. The Five Keys on Capitol, Rudy West on lead. It's called Do Anything.
Make me want you so badly.
Make me want you so badly.
Hurt me till I want to cry.
Hurt me till I want to cry.
Do anything to me, but don't say goodbye.
Don't say goodbye.
Make me need you, my darling.
Make me need you, my darling.
Make me sit around and sigh.
Make me sit around and sigh.
Do anything to me, but don't say goodbye.
Don't say goodbye.
Let me stay near you, my darling. That's good enough for me. Wherever you are, my darling, that's where I've got to be. Go and come as you want to.
Go and come as you want to.
I will never ask you why. Do anything to me, but don't say goodbye. Do anything to me, but don't say goodbye.
Yeah, that's a nice one there that they do. I have to say it's a good one there. One of their earlier style sounding records there, although that record came out in November of 57, the great Rudy West and the Five Keys. That's their 16th release on the Capitol record label, coming in at number 198. Song entitled Do Anything. Johnny G doing anything here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. No, we're doing the countdown of 1957 and maybe a couple more here before we sign off here on the program. Again, if you have any requests for this coming Saturday, send them to me at vinyltreasures@aol.com. You can send me as many as you want, but I'm going to limit it to 2 requests because I can't sit here for more than 3 hours because my leg swells up, and the doctor said that is a no-no. So it's for medical reasons here, but we'll see how long I can. Well, I can do it, but I got to be careful. That's all. But let's continue here with the countdown. Entry number 197 is a flip side that we heard earlier on the survey at number 309. 309, we heard a song on Bobby Robinson's Fury label called Falling in Love from July of 1957, as done by Louis Lyman and the Teen Chords. That's Frankie Lyman's little brother. And the flip side comes in at number 197. Of course, they had 3 other records to make the survey. Another one on the Fury label, Honey Honey. We played that, I think it was last week. And then on End, we heard, I think, both sides of their End release called Your Last Chance at number 381 and number 454 with Too Young. And here they return at number 197. Did this kick off the list? No, this is 1006. This is from July 1957. This is their 3rd release on Bobby Robinson's Fury record label. Louis Lyman and the Teen Chords on Fury Records. It's called I'm Not Too Young to Fall in Love, number 197.
Not too young to fall in love. You stay out too late at night. Not too young to fall in love. Too young to bucket, too young to walk. Get on the bed and save my song. Whenever the young ones are on the walk. Not too young to fall in love. Ever since the world began, said that a woman was made for a man. Now my heart don't feel with joy. I know girl I was made for a boy. Too young to stay away from the war. Too young to play by golden rod. I mean the young ones are on the walk. Not too young to fall in love. Young to fall in love. Not too young to fall in love. Never since the world began, said it that a woman was made for man. Now my heart don't feel with joy. I know girl I wasn't made for a boy. You stay all late at night. You know what's the run to ride. I mean the young ones the Lord of a war. Not too young to fall in love. You know what to do, no one. You know what to do, no one. You know what to do, no one. Not too young to fall in love. You know what to do, no one. You know what to do, no one. You know what to do, no one. Not too young to fall in love.
That's Frankie Lyman's little brother, Louis Lyman and the Teen Chords there. That's their 3rd release on Bobby Robinson's Fury record label, July 1957. I'm Not Too Young to Fall in Love. Kind of like one of the harder ones to find on this. It needs to be kind of like on that reddish maroon label. That's the way to get it. I think there's a darker maroon. I think if you bought the record in Times Square, it was on the darker maroon label, which is the reissue of that. But it was funny that Bobby Robinson would sell masters to George Goldner because Frankie Lyman moved on, but he liked that Kitty sound, so he purchased a number of the masters that Bobby Robinson recorded and put them out on the End label. That's how those records came out on Goldner's End record label. Johnny G here on a Thursday as we continue here with the countdown. We move to number 196, and this received 54 points, as well as that Fury release there by Louis Lemon and the Teen Chords, 54 points. Actually, there was 4 mentions with a number 1. Someone voted that record number 1 by Louis Lyman and the Teen Chords, but there were 5 mentions on this tune here on Al Silver's Ember record label as we go to New Haven, Connecticut. And the flip side of this, the B-side, did make the survey, a song called Love with No Love in Return. That was number 481. And they had other songs to make the survey. Our Anniversary, that was on Ember. Our Love is Forever on Ember. Oh Happy Day on Ember. Wish I Had My Baby on Ember. I know you know who I'm talking about, the five Satins here, and they come in again at number 198. I'm sorry, 196. Jeez, John. 196 from November of 57, and it features Bill Baker on lead. Bill Baker filling in when Fred Paris was in the service, and Bill Baker filled in nicely for Fred Paris. Let's go to November of 1957, number 196 on the survey on the Ember record label. Bill Baker and the Five Satins. It's called $1,000,000 to 1.
$1,000,000 to 1. The odds were against me. What could anyone do when the chances at you were $1,000,000 to 1? A shot in the dark is all I can show, dear, is a tear and a sigh. The old college tried, but it couldn't be done. I knew I'd never come out ahead. I should have quit, but instead I kept on playing, just for fun. $1,000,000 to 1. Now I've learned my lesson. Never gamble again when the chances to win were $1,000,000 to 1. $1,000,000 to 1.
That is a great I like that record a lot. I do. I know George Tompkins also liked that song. He used to request it quite often. That is a Bill Baker and the Five Satins coming in at number 196 on the survey from November of 1957 on Al Silver's Ember record label, a song entitled A Million to One. Well, that's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show for this Thursday afternoon. Hope you dug on all the cool records from the year 1957. I'll be back next Thursday afternoon to continue with the countdown here. I got to pull the records out, though, but a lot of them are up here because a lot of the flip sides are now showing up. And the other ones are filed. I don't even think I have to, unless I got like a VG minus copy that I have to look for an upgrade. But I don't think there's any hits that'll be coming on. There is a 78 or two that I will have to feature when we get closer to it. So that's going to give me the incentive to start pulling out some 78s to feature here live on the program. So stay tuned for that. And I will be back a Saturday night beginning at 9 p.m. with all your requests. I have quite a few to do. Charlene is helping me put that together. Actually helped me with this show. Thank you, Charlene, again for a fantastic job. And so send me your requests at vinyltreasures@aol.com. Like I said, if I have the 45, I'll feature it, but we'll be off promptly at 12 on Saturday night by, that's got to happen because I can't sit here this long. But thank you all for tuning in today. And if you missed any of the program, it'll be on momentarily on YouTube. And I think I posted everything except last night's show to vinyltreasures.net. So there you go. So let's close the show today with the entry number 195, received 55 points and 4 mentions. And we go to New York City to the Celeste record label, actually a label out of Brooklyn, New York. It was owned by David Levitt, and there were only 5 releases in all on the label. It was a short-lived label, and early tapes were discovered and put out. I think they put some singles in the early 70s for I think Lillian Leach and the Mellows. I think those are available to buy. That I do have quite a few in my collection that I can play here on the program. But this group is called The Four Sounds. It's one of, it's not that easy a record to find, by the way, on the label. It's with Lawrence Keys, the Lawrence Keys Trio providing the instrumentation, and he gets one of the writer credit on this, along with Wynn's disc jockey, Alan Freed. So Alan Freed possibly played this record. I don't know. I wasn't there. Those of you that lived it may know. But, of course, there are other groups on this label, the Miners, and I mentioned Lillian Leach and the Mellows. But this is from 1957. Our closer is by The Four Sounds at number 195 on Celeste Records. The song is called Afraid. That's going to do it, folks. Thank you all. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell to get notifications, and give me a thumbs up if you dig what Johnny G is doing. So everybody enjoy the remainder of your afternoon, and I'll see you next time right here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Just want to say, everybody, so long. The Four Sounds.
Afraid to fall in love with you. I'm afraid your lips may thrill me too. I wish I could believe the sweet things you say, but my heart tells me don't say goodbye. I stand here pleading before you. Can't you see I want to love you, but I'm afraid. I stand here pleading before you. Can't you see I want to